Hello everyone, welcome back to Full Grown Gaming's Let's Play of Super Mario RPG. And in this episode, I'm going to go ahead and finish Marrymore, but first let me explain the shop. I'm not going to buy the Super Hammer from Mario or the Chomp Shell for Bowser because the weapons we have for those characters are already stronger than those two weapons. So I'm going to buy the handgun and the Womp Glove. And I'm not going to buy the Happy equipment because I'm pretty sure the work pants are better than, like, overall than this Happy equipment. And I'm gonna go ahead and buy a B-Tub ring, which I will use later. And I might as well buy a mid-mushroom if I have... Yeah, I don't even have room. Alright, so I'm set on items as far as I can tell. But what I want to do, actually, is spend the night here. Because after all, this is a hotel, and they should offer some services overnight. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and spend my night in the suite. Which is an excellent choice! He has to yell it at me. I guess he's getting the key out, giving it to the bellhop. But I want to go ahead and apologize for... And I got a flower tab. I need to use that. No, I don't want to throw that away. I'll throw away one Able Juice, because I guess I won't be needing all of those. But I want to apologize, like I was going to say. I'm making a pit stop in this room because there's a hidden chest up here. Apologize for the lack of content for the 5 billion thousandth time on this channel. Because of the lack of content. And let me show you guys around this room before I finish that apology. This guy will stay in your room, creepily enough, until you pay him to leave. I know he wants a tip, but seriously. I mean, that's kind of rude, don't you think? Like, you don't just stay in somebody's room waiting for a tip. If they don't give it to you in a certain amount of time, you leave. But anyway, I guess, I don't know what this is, but it doesn't do anything as far as I know. This bell right here, I'm not going to ring it because I don't really want to buy anything, but that guy will come back and offer you drinks like pick-me-ups, and I'm pretty sure a Kira Cola, but I don't really need those right now. And also, he will want another tip to leave, not that I really have to pay him or anything, but... And there's also a shower here, which I want you guys to listen to the tune that plays while I'm in the shower. I think that was Mario whistling or singing in the shower or something. And I guess that's kind of cool to do. And also, he has a red... I guess that was a really hot shower. Look how red he is. He's almost as red as his hat and overalls. But that's about all there is in this room. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought I remembered something that had to do with this towel, but it's too small. Oh, that's not a towel, is it? You know, I've always thought that was a towel, but the more I look at it, it kind of looks like a robe. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go to bed now. Because like every other inn in the game, it will pay you... What am I saying? It will replenish your HP and FP, which is pretty useful because there's a boss fight coming up. It's not really a spoiler, I mean, you know. Alright, so we're gonna leave Marrymore. First we have to talk to this guy. Good morning, I hope you were able to sleep well. Well, after you left, I was. You betcha. Is that so? It's a pleasure to serve you, sir. This is another complimentary gift. Mid-mushroom. What happened to the max mushroom? Sometimes he'll give you a max mushroom. What do I want to get rid of? I guess I'll just get rid of a regular mushroom. Rather have a mid-mushroom than a max mushroom, or a regular mushroom. And I'm gonna go ahead and save, because like I've said before, I like to save. Just to make sure I've saved my progress, obviously. Alright, so now we need to go to the actual chapel. And nothing will really happen until you talk to somebody, so let's go ahead and talk to whoever this is. And Raz and Rainy, help! Get shoved out of the chapel doorway by the snippet number 1. Booster's wedding is in progress. We barricaded the door, so don't even bother trying to sneak inside. Alright. Well, let's go try and get in anyway. I'm not letting you in here, and you can forget about the back entrance. It's locked. At least I think it is. So now we know there's a back entrance, which we have to find, and you can't go behind the place, but you can go right here. Why, you know, if you think aesthetically, or like, I don't even know what word you would use, why would there be a door right here, and then you come around the door, and there's another door right here, around the wall, and there's another door right there? I don't know, it just doesn't really make sense. The dimensions of this church is kind of weird too, now that I think about it. Alright, so there's a cake here, which will actually play a role coming up, and if you jump on it, these two chefs... What are you doing? Oh, that's nice. You just stepped on the... You fools! Yeah, why would they both say that? You fools. Like, when you say you fool, like, if they're talking to me, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too far into it. But if you come in here, the sniffet that told us we couldn't break in can't believe it's us because he just saw us outside, and because the door shut tight, I couldn't have gotten any other way. So I've got to use my ID card, which is this. Jumping, apparently, like I said, that's your ID card in this game. To prove somebody who you are, you actually just jump and they'll instantly know you're Mario. But he wants to get back into the what are the... I don't even know, the main room of the church here. And to get in, we have to run with him into the door, and if you don't do the timing right, it won't work, it'll just bounce off the door. But if you help him, he'll go skidding into the next room. For some reason we stop here, I guess we're heavier. Booster, you clowns! You don't break a door down when entering a room. Shut it! Shut it now! If I could just get in there, if I could move. But I can't. And they shut the door right before I get to it. But I need to get in there. First I'm gonna save, like I said. Love saving. But so now we have to, like I said, get into there. And if we try to talk to the door, the snippets say, we're pretty sure Mr. Mustache can't break in here, but that turtle looks pretty mean, he could be trouble. So Bowser, they have no idea what they're up against. I'm lightning in a bottle, I'm an earthquake in a can, I'll bust this open in no time. Kinda reminds me of, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, you know? And this situation right here proves, or actually disproves, my theory, or Joe's theory, that Bowser, all he has to do to break down doors is turn around and run backwards. Because he did that same thing to bust down Booster's tower door, and it's not working here. So we're going to have to give him a little help. We're going to run straight at the door with him, and there we go. That's two things we had to do, like, two instances of running into the door in, like, 5 seconds. Alright. So we have to help Peach get her shoes, her ring, her brooch, and her crown back, because she apparently needs those for the wedding she doesn't want to be involved with. And Booster, don't bother me now. Okay, everybody, the bride's growing impatient. Let the wedding begin. What's this? Water coming from your eyes? Are you leaking, my dear? That's one of my favorite parts of the game. Obviously, he's oblivious to what that is. Tastes salty. I believe the bride may be crying. Crying? But that's what people do when they're sad. That stuff must be corrosive. It tastes like the sea. Which is actually where we're going after this fight, pretty much. After this area. So it's kind of like a foreshadowing, almost. She's dropped her gear, but those tears will ruin the cake, which isn't even in the room. Make her stop before Mario breaks in. Too late, buddy. We're already in the room. Well, they just said what I just said, but Mario's already in. Sir, hurry! We have to find her things. We have to get on with the wedding. In the meantime, perhaps we can do something about the cake. 10-4, good buddy. Does that sound like something that should be in a Mario game? I don't know. So we have to... The Sniffets are actually going to go try and find the wedding gear that she dropped. And we have to help... Or, we don't really have to help. We have to... confront them and get the wedding gear back to give to Toadstool. Alright, so... That was like a really long... I feel like I've completely skipped over why we haven't been doing commentaries, but I think it's pretty obvious. There was a exam week. If anybody in high school and college knows that there's exams, and exam week is one of those times when you just don't do video games, you know? Unless you just don't care about your grades, then you do whatever you want. But I actually do care. So I did a whole lot of studying for a week. And then the past 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, have been, I was going to say spring break. If this is spring break, I don't want to see what Christmas break is like. It's freezing here. But we've been on Christmas break, and we have all the items now, so we're going to get the crown back, and talk to Booster. Now, I'm not going to read this, I'm actually going to talk to you guys, because I want to get you guys filled in. Alright, so, like I said, exam week, and then spring break. That must be on. That's like the next big break before graduation. So I guess it's on my mind. But we had Christmas break, and I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, whatever you guys celebrate. I hope you spent it with family. I hope you had a good time, got what you wanted, gave a couple of things away, and just generally had a good time. And oh, it was New Year's a couple days ago too. So here's to a happy I don't even know what a good word would be. Have a good 2012. And Peach totally missed, and Bowser actually planted a wet one right on my left cheek, and they're all freaking out. So now Toadstool and I are allies. I'll never live this down. So now that we've shared this moment, we can actually be friends. Now that's one for the scrapbook. Alright, so now we're gonna try and make our way out of here, but... And I guess Peach or Toadstool joined the party, technically, but we can't use her yet. But the cake comes in the door. And I want to tell you guys about this stupid cake. Alright? I have been trying, I've done this commentary 5 million times. I had a new guest to do it with a couple weeks ago. I'll just give a shout out to Hunter real quick, because he was actually here. We got to the cake, and I couldn't beat it because there's actually a mechanic in this thing, which I'll get to, but it made it impossible to beat. So after 20 minutes of commentary, we had to start over, and we did that twice, and then Joe even came over a couple days ago, and the same thing happened, and it's just been a train wreck trying to get this episode out. So that's another, like, on top of Christmas break, on top of exam week, just the game wasn't cooperating, so... enough, complaining, though. You don't want to attack the actual chefs, who are now both named the same thing. One was named the Apprentice before, so that's kind of weird. But you, like I said, you want to go ahead and attack the cake, which is called Bundt, which I guess is a little bit of a pun. Because, you know, Bundt cake. And I guess like that part of the cake's not even really the boss. The part under it is actually the real boss. Alright, so once you do enough damage, it'll start to move. And the guy, the apprentice, who's now named the Apprentice, you know, I'm starting to think maybe the T-O-R, I'm not sure even how to pronounce Tort, maybe? Is that like a title? Like a German title or something? Because that guy's obviously German. And I don't even know what I'm saying. But anyway, yeah, so enough excuses on why there hasn't been videos. I want to go ahead and get this boss fight over with. And I'm going to do a little bit of a gaming update, because there's a whole... And I rag on Joe for doing gaming updates just because I say, oh, you never have anything to talk about, so you're just going to... You do gaming updates to fill in the time. But I can see there's a value to them. As long as they're not being used to fill time, you know. There was the Steam sales were over the past month or so. And for anybody that has Steam and hasn't heard of the Steam sales, you should probably turn on your computer, because the Steam sales were all over the place. Every website I went to, 1UP, all of them were talking about the Steam sales, and for good reason, because they were full of good deals. I mean, there were... Skyrim was only $40, and that's an absolute... It just came out, like, what, a month or two ago? And it was already 33% off. Alright, so this is the boss fight, I'll get back to that in a minute, that I was talking about. There are 5 candles you have to extinguish, and to do so, all you have to do is attack and one will go out. Pretty simple, but... Oh, see, I hate that he does 2 really strong attacks right in a row. But every time he gets a turn, one of them comes back, so you have to have at least 2 party members alive to win. And I ran out of pick-me-ups, so what am I supposed to do? Unless there's some other way I just didn't know, you know... And he also has some pretty strong magic attacks, for whatever reason. Apparently this cake is possessed by Satan, and has magic. So I'm going to heal Gino, because I really don't want people to go down in this fight. My voice just cracked. I'm gonna get past that. Yeah, he's only got 3, and it doesn't even matter if you do the timed hits on this thing. Any attack, any amount of damage will cause a candle to go out. And we're almost there, come on. This is really the hardest part of the fight to me, getting past this cake part. Oh! I knew that was gonna get me. Alright. I've got to weigh my... I'm gonna get Mario up. I was gonna say maybe I could just finish it with Bowser and Gino, but I'm not chancing it. Alright, so while I fight, I'm gonna talk about a new game I've found. I can't even talk. Called The Binding of Isaac. Because I was just talking about Satan and that reminded me. And that's kind of a weird introduction to a new game, isn't it? Oh, Satan reminds me of this new game. The Binding of Isaac is it's kind of like the original Legend of Zelda. It's called a roguelike game, named after the game called Rogue, back in the day. And this is going to finish him off. Finally! Thank you! Ugh, that thing's been the bane of my Let's Playing existence for the past month, so it's good that it's finally gone. And I'm gonna use able juices on my party members because those cause my attack to go down, or the what am I saying? The status ailment that I have causes your attack damage to go down. Alright, so the Binding of Isaac is like a roguelike game, named after the game Rogue. And it's kind of short, and I might actually do episodes of it in the future, because it's a really... I just got the stupid status ailment gone, and now it's back. Whatever, game. But, Binding of Isaac, roguelike game. Now, it's really, to me, and I know I'm not the best PC computer game player, but I can't beat that stupid game. It's the hardest game I've ever played, and I'm not understating anything, or overstating. I have Super Meat Boy, and I would rather play that than play the stupid Binding of Isaac, even though I love it so much, I can't beat it to save my life. And I just beat the cake. I feel like I've overcome a really huge obstacle. Maybe we ought to wait. This is Booster's wedding cake. But we're beating the crap out of it, so it's probably not any good anymore. He'll have a fit if we nibble on it. Why would they even talk about that? Booster's right there. Hey, number one. Reminds me of the codename Kids Next Door order. Where's my cake? There's a 70% chance the object you're standing on is a cake. Kinda reminds me of Portal, almost. GLaDOS could have said the same thing. This thing's a cake? Okay, everyone. Here's the stumper. How do we eat this? I say we boil it. What is that gonna do? What do you say? Way too messy. Why don't you just swallow it? What? In one gulp? That's easier said than done. Come, Booster. You can do it. Open wide. So he's actually gonna open his jaws. He's gonna tie my... Oh, yeah. I can see how that would fray your nerves a little bit. So he's gonna open his jaws wide. He's building it up. Did the cake just move? Concentrate, sir. This doesn't feel right. I wouldn't want to eat all that either. And it just... He eats it all in one bite. Why couldn't we have done that to beat the boss fight? I have no idea. Mmm, delicious. It's so good it makes me want to cry. Congratulations, sir. The wedding is now officially over. Thanks, everyone. It's a wrap. Let's go. Is that not the most, and they're kind of disrespecting us by jumping over us, is that not the most anticlimactic end to a wedding? He didn't have anything to... He didn't even, like, do anything with Toadstool or anything. He just kinda ate cake and left. Almost like a leech, almost, you know? It's not really... I mean, he was the groom. He didn't even care that he didn't get married to his wife, or his soon-to-be wife. He just kind of accepted it. Alright, so finally, Toadstool will join the party, and I finally beat the cake. It's been a month in the making, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode here in the chapel, or the church, or whatever you want to call it, after I save, because I'm never, ever playing that part again. What am I saying? Thank you for welcoming me... Why can't I talk? Now that I'm at the end of the episode, I can't even talk. Thank you for welcoming me back to the Let's Play world. I want you guys to tune back in for the next episode, Mario, which should be coming out tomorrow. Because now that I've beat the cake, I've been reinvigorated, and I really want to do more episodes. So, without further ado, thank you for watching this episode, and I will see you guys next time.